As we say, we're into the championship bracket now. Acend. Now let's talk about them first because they met up against Cloud9, arguably one of the top 2 teams coming into this tournament. They had a really, really rough time against them. The question for me, can Optic repeat that dosage and maybe send a message back to Cloud9?
Right, you'd have to think it's a possibility with how hot Optic is coming into this event and how hot they've been since they arrived in Kansas City. An opportunity for them to make a statement as well. On the other side of the stage, can Acend turn the tides and take this second place group finish even further into the bracket?
Going to be a very, very interesting matchup between these two. For Optic Gaming, it's an opportunity, as I say, to make a statement here and move forward in the championship bracket. But what an opportunity it is for Acend as well to potentially cause one of the biggest upsets we might have seen.
Absolutely, we'll see what they'll be able to do here, and we are going straight into the gameplay. It's Optic Gaming versus Acend underway here in Kansas City.
Bazaar capture the flag is where we are going to start our business. And APG is going to start off by picking up a double. 3 dead for Acend. Optic already rolling.
This is how you want to start the game. And this is textbook Bazaar CTF. TriPPPeY's checking his corners in tree as well. Doesn't find anyone. Just several teammates around, overshield in hand. Here comes the push.
TriPPPeY and APG working so well together already. Shaady trying to escape, and TriPPPeY says, you can stay alive for a second. I'm going to run your flag. Lucid there for the support with the rockets. I love this run already from Optic. Running towards the power weapon controller. That means that if anyone dares to drop near TriPPPeY and running this flag, they're going to beat Lucid with that rocket.
APG's going to love that spawn. Spawn's right there in the flag run. He's going to help escort this flag back as a result. Some battles being happening in tree, but TriPPPeY says, I'm not going to worry about that at all. Flag goes in 54 seconds for Optic Gaming. That is a very, very fast Bazaar CTF flag.
First flag cast, and still Snipedrone waiting for his first kill. I think that sums up how quickly Optic Gaming have started off in this game, and that's what we would expect. Shaady trying to be a nuisance though. APG playing his live free challenges. Lucid's going to be there to clean it up.
Already hearing some Let's Go Optic chants in the crowd. The second we even saw Formal on that stage, you heard everyone getting nuts here. A very welcome addition for Optic fans, without a doubt. They will reset just a bit here. They'll get back in their base and push out together.
Acend finally gets somewhat of a foothold in this game. It's been all Optic so far, but as you can see, that grenade is gonna hit the chest of APG. Somehow managed to kind of deflect that one away, and at the moment, Optic kind of trapped in the base, but APG is gonna give them the opportunity maybe to break out here as Acend have a flagpole going here.
Had some help from Lucid, but those kills will be traded out in the back of the base as well. They gotta take down Snipedrone here.
Formal's gonna do exactly that by picking up his 3rd kill of this game. Let's talk a little bit about Matthew Piper. Let's talk a little bit about Formal and why he's added to this Optic Gaming roster, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. As APG's getting these kills down bottom middle, just has to worry about double doors. That'll be 2 dead, but Formal, the man on your screen with the overshield in hand as well. This man is a natural born winner. That's all he knows how to do. It doesn't matter the FPS title. Of course, getting his starts in Halo just about 10 years ago in professional Halo. Of course, he's also dominated professional Call of Duty. And now everyone just knows him as a man who really doesn't lose when it comes to competitive esports and FPS titles.
A huge addition to this lineup, and once again, he's just one of the most consistent players you could possibly ask for. We saw him kind of delve in back into competitive Halo on that Sentinels roster, but now at home on Optic Gaming, and already this man's on a killing spree.
Why not? Killing spree for Formal. It feels like whenever we jump to his POV, that's the case. He's going to rotate bottom middle, and all of that slaying leads to the 2nd flag for Optic Gaming. They will now lead 2-0.
Another kill for Formal is going to take him to 6 in a row now. Lqgend, the unfortunate benefactor of that left cross. Now the plasma pistol going to be used to try and take down some shields, but at the moment, Formal doing what he does best, recognizing map situation, waiting for that team to push up, allowing APG to get his hands on those rockets.
APG, as we always say, criminally underrated for a long time. I think he's finally getting the respect that he deserves, or at least starting to do so. 2 dead though. Lucid and TriPPPeY, so the APG Formal duo will be up right now. They'll work together bottom middle. Pick up a few kills. See Formal last player alive for just a moment. 3 dead though, 4 dead momentarily for Optic. Maybe an opportunity for Acend to get a little bit of composure here.
Wow, I mean, look at the pressure coming off for Respawn though. Snipedrone just waiting for his shields to come back. By the time he did, already being challenged mid-map here by Optic. Just unrelenting pressure, but some great shots will take down Lucid. That's going to create a lane to push. But the overshield is where the focus is for both teams at the moment. 10 seconds until the power-up's going to be popping.
Picking up, oh my god, look at this. They can't finish the kills bottom middle. They still don't have the angles. They still don't have the damage. Finally, maybe it comes in. Should be an overshield grab here. That's a nice killing spree from Snipedrone.
He's to be able to pop this one quickly though. Is he going to be able to? Yes, he is just about. APG keeps that pressure on, as does Lucid, and that overshield gets absolutely decimated by Optic Gaming. Acend cannot get anything going in the moment and trying to match the pace of Optic, but the team fire has been superb.
Optic says you might grab that overshield, but we're going to send in the Bash brothers to annihilate that overshield. That's exactly what they do. And like you said, Acend, they are flooding bottom middle. It's constant pressure, not letting Acend get any sort of foothold.
Formal moving into the base. Sica's going to be the next victim here. Perfect shots from Formal. He takes his tally to 12 kills in this game now. And now he's prioritizing what he needs to do, getting that flag moving for Optic. Lqgend still stuck in the respawn screen here for Acend as well. APG going to clear the way.
Formal going to continue on. Not a lot of kills on the board just yet, though. They're going to have to see maybe slow this down just a bit and get 1 or 2 more kills before they bring it back. There's one of them.
I mean, look at this from Formal. I mean, the team is working around him. Everyone falls like flies from Acend, and all that means is that Formal is going to be able to stroll home and put in the 3rd flag here for Optic. Making
it look easy, this Optic Gaming side, and reminding the best in Europe that they've got a lot of work to do on North American soil.
Formal's still alive, by the way, and still causing problems for everybody who he comes up against. Another killing spree here for Formal. Snipedrone is going to be challenging, so is Shaady. Shady's going to... Oh my God. Do not challenge Formal! Do not challenge Formal!
Not missing. We never see him miss, and this weekend has been no exception. The way he walks into these bases, and he also is getting loud there. You saw him exchanging some words across the stage. He's fired up. He's ready to go here.
That's what you want to see from Formal. Like you mentioned, a born winner. This man is going to be able to bring a new breed of confidence, I think, to this Optic Gaming lineup. A big decision to bring him in with a dropping off Pistola, obviously an iconic player himself. Yeah. But what Formal brings to the team, it's not just in-game, it's out of game as well, Andy.
It really is, and one thing I heard from TriPPPeY when I got to talk to him at the pre-land just a few days ago at the Royal Stadium, we talked about it on the desk, how much Formal even makes APG better. This duo now you have the Formal APG duo alongside the TriPPPeY Lucid duo, and this team is better and much more than the sum of its parts here, and I think APG, he's been popping off this weekend too.
Yeah, he certainly has, especially in those Slayers. I mean, look at his stats in this game, 14 and 6. For APG, like you said, player who demands respect at this point in the competitive Halo scene. He's been doing it for years, and now he just seems to have been unleashed on this Optic Gaming lineup. 3 flags on the board with just over 5 minutes to go here in this game, and Optic moving that flag once more.
We also got to talk about TriPPPeY, the man running the flag. He's also 13 and 4 in this game. Absolutely wild stats. They're going to roll back rocket side, make sure to find any overextenders as well. That'll be another back-to-back Snipedrone. Last guy in position along with Sica.
APG is trying to chase him down as well. Sica seems to have got a counter pull, but APG, he's got the tonic, he's called a bulldog, he picks up one, he slides into Shaady, he doesn't get the trade. But APG working back there to try and clear that way out for the flag.
See where these flag goes. Both flags out as you see on your screen, one on bridge and one down bottom market.
Snipedrone picks up an important kill. And if Snipedrone can stay alive for a few seconds, and TriPPPeY gets taken down, and Acend might have a chance to move this one forward. Snipedrone unfortunately gets taken down for Acend though. Lqgend trying to push forward as well. TriPPPeY just staying alive though. He's going to be last man alive now for Optic as the throw down to bottom middle comes in from Acend.
Nice play from Lqgend. Look at that, no health. He manages to get the flag touch. That flag touch is going to continue and move on now. Either tree or a double door run. TriPPPeY is the last player in position.
Snipedrone's there for the calf as well, and Snipedrone picks up 2 on the respawn. So Sica running this flag back home, and it's going to be the first one on the board here for Acend. Even though the story so far in this game, Andy, has been all Optic, Acend showing some fight here.
It really has been signs of life from the best players in Europe. They came in here ready to play. What's that? Maybe knew that Formal was there, maybe didn't. Finally, they'll clear him out. Shaady can't stay alive in the lockers. And what was a pretty one-sided 3-0 now gets a little bit more interesting with 3:41 left on the clock.
You're looking at Optic Gaming stats, and everybody across the board positive, looking really strong. A couple of outliers on the Acend side, though.
Yeah.
Sica currently sat 4 and 16 against the powerhouse team like Optic, Andy. Those numbers have got to be better.
It is pretty interesting. Sometimes when you see a team that's getting beat as handily as Acend is in this game, it might be spread evenly across the board in terms of the stats. But you're right, Lqgend and Sica, they're having trouble in this game 1.
And Lucid combining for a couple of kills here in the base, and Formal going to start moving that flag. There is still one player alive here, and that's going to be Shaady. And Shaady doing what we've seen him do so many times here, Andy. Overextending, getting into the base, kind of almost selling the team out a little bit on Acend. But if he gets a kill while that flag is moving and he can start to get it mid-map, then and it can create opportunities as Lqgend picks up 2.
Right, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Snipedrone continues that flag and then somehow stays alive as well.
Yeah, he's doing a great job as well. This is what we mean. Snipedrone does get that flag out bottom middle, but APG was more than aware that his job there with the Rockets was to stop that flag run. Rotate it back extremely smartly, and Optic should be extremely comfortable and send this one back home.
Absolutely. APG just cool-headed there. Didn't get the first rocket kill, did not panic. Stays up top, rotates around bottom middle, gets the help around pillars, and they're able to once again just maintain that 3-1 lead.
2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game, and after a hot start, you have to give Acend a little bit of credit for the way they fought back in this game. Optic still keeping the pressure on in the base though. Sica, last player alive, first off respawn, first back into the death screen. The team fight coming in from Optic, superb.
Choose your fighter. It feels like at every different moment in this game, another player on Optic Gaming has led in the stats category. APG is 23, 15, and 9. Amazing numbers here from him.
Sica once again just taking damage off of respawn. Shady's got an overshield here for Acend though. He's gonna have to prioritize getting that flag back home. As you can see, a couple of players are going to be there to help him do so. TriPPPeY going to be trying to push down bottom middle. There's a spike grenade to deal with, but the Dynamo should cancel that out. Flag gets sent back home by Acend, but they've had to expel an overshield to do so.
Shaady does very well to kill Formal as quickly as possible. You let Formal get away once and get away with his shield, you're in trouble, but Lucid, nice little pop, pop, pop with a P shooter and a switch to the BR will pick up another kill in the bar.
APG there to give him a little bit of a helping hand as well. APG now 24, 15, and 11. A ridiculous stat line coming in from him. Lucid trying to catch him up at the moment. He crosses that 20 kill mark too.
This is the Optic Gaming defense right now, just holding the mid line. They've got a 2 flag cushion, and you can just see Lucid just holding down the bar. Once again, P shooter in hand.
60 seconds left in this game before Optic can claim it as their own. And for now, Lucid just making sure that nobody sneaks and overextends or causes any problems in the bar. There is one of those players. Sica picks up his 22nd death of the game. It's been a rough one for him, but for Lucid now, 21, 11, and 14. Continuing the form we would expect to see.
They call him the bartender. He doesn't leave the bar. He's the last one to leave. He's going to lock it down. If you need anything, you're going to need to ask Lucid, and right now, he doesn't have too much on offer. And let me tell you, the bar's closed.
30 seconds left, 3 dead here for Optic. Sica will be able to get his hands on that flag and get it moving. Snipedrone in position as well, and an opportunity here. As Optic find themselves 3 dead and coming off the respawn, we saw how efficiently Snipedrone was able to pick up those overextenders last time. Question is, can Acend do it again? It looks like they've picked up one. Formal has fallen. 10 seconds left in this game. Even though there probably isn't enough time here for them to get another flag on the board, at least it might be a little bit of a confidence boost for them, but you called in the bartender. Lucid's going to call time on this game, and Optic will go up by 1.
A very, very confident start for Optic Gaming. Looking good in game number 1, and despite the 3-2 scoreline in the end, it's a comfortable win. They will outslay their opponents 88-55 in game number 1.
Let's take a second here. Let's give Acend a little bit of credit. Even though Optic looked like they were in control, you look at that final score of 3-2.
Sure. You have to think how much maybe letting that last fly go home, not sure. But I agree. When you get outslayed by 88-55, that score should not be 3-2 or 3-1. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's way too close. I agree. I think Bazaar CTF is a very unique game type. Sometimes tough to read with the stats. We'll take a look at some highlights from that game number 1.
It was pretty much to complete control. The majority of that game, though, from Optic. You can see it in the stats. You can see how controlled they were, sort of commanding their presence around that mid-map, and it was just a couple of overshields, a couple of overextensions that kind of caught them off guard with those flag caps that were conceded. But Formal, you can already see in this game what he brings to this team, Andy. Just consistent damage across the board, and let me tell you, Shaady, he learned a lesson here, Andy, and that lesson is do not challenge Formal.
What I love here is Formal's getting loud, right? And that tells you that this Optic team is taking the sense seriously, right? Formal's not going to be talking trash like that if they don't take their opponents on the other side of the stage seriously. He knew he won that battle, absolutely outshot Shaady in that engagement. Lots to be proud of here for the Optic Gaming side. But like you said, Acend still putting on a pretty good effort there in terms of flags on the board.
I want to talk about the balance on this Optic Gaming team now with the addition of Formal as well. It seems like everybody just has such a comfortable situation they find themselves in where their natural playstyle works for the team. You look at across the stats and it's almost as if everyone's taking turns, right? To step up, to pick up the kills, to pick up the assists, to run that flank. Everyone is so comfortable in what they have to do across the map. Optic will, of course, win that game 3-1. It seems like that final flag didn't go in for Acend, but
I'm telling you right now, it
the
did.
graphic was wrong in that case. But It just seems like everybody just feels like naturally they're in the position they want to be, and it's not one player now standing out for Optic. It's everybody taking their turn to do so.
I agree. It feels like everyone is on the same page. I think when you looked at Optic gaming around January, it felt like players were flying out, able to do so much damage, and the kills wouldn't be cleaned up. Now you have a few key factors on this team. The Lucid TriPPPeY duo can continue just hitting unbelievable movement across the map and go forward at fast speeds with great damage. You also have APG as well as Formal just on the same page, moving together. And when you look at the amount of damage that all these players are doing across the map, it opens up everything. It's their playground. They can move. They can call the shots.
So good at prioritizing what needs to be done at a certain point. And for me, when you're looking at Formal, and I'm going to keep highlighting him as the new addition to this roster, I don't think there's many people better in FPS history who can prioritize what the most important thing at any one moment on the map is to do.
No, it's freakish. When you listen to Formal's comms as well, he knows exactly what they need to be prioritizing and the way that he's able to work with the rest of the team as well. I think oftentimes you still have Lucid in quite an IGL role on this team, making sure that they're prioritizing either the same route or the same stronghold or the same overall power-up and able to control that. But if you've had the chance to listen to this team in scrims and their comms and the FaZe Invitational, they sound so good. They're on the same page, and you heard it from Lucid just how confident he is.
100%, and another thing that gets added as well is just a little bit of fire. We talked about that winning mentality that he has, right? And he's just a born winner. He just wins games, he wins tournaments. Well, when you got a player standing up and getting loud and shouting, with players historically in Lucid and TriPPPeY who have been in those difficult moments where they've lost the game fives, and it's something I've talked about before, sitting next to a player with that presence, with that history, who's going to be shouting across the stage and letting people know, it just lets you play your game.
One of my favorite lines from Formal yesterday, you heard him say it in scrims as well. If you get the chance to watch these players' streams, you hear them say it all the time. Just play the way we do in practice. These guys practice for excellence. They only accept excellence, and they bring that style of play into these weekends here as we get ready to go into game number 2.
Game number 2 going to be a very, very interesting one, as it always is, and an opportunity maybe to see a little bit of movement coming out of some of these Optic players. We are going over to live fire. We're going to have some Slayer action to bring you. We've also got a sniper rifle, which is going to pop up, and Acend, trust me, they're going to be flying at Optic. The question is, if Optic are organized enough, they're going to be able to deal with that pretty well. Can Acend slow things down when they need to?
One key thing to watch here, watch how Optic Gaming, if they find themselves in any sort of deficit, they look for the opening damage. They immediately identify who the player is that's pushing out. They get the first kill. As soon as they do that, they will pounce, they will collapse, and they will take advantage of that situation.
Interesting stats, though. You can see that Optic Gaming, they have played a little bit in Pro Series. Of course, you can see Acend playing against the European rosters have not lost this game, and they are pretty damn good at this map. So it's going to be an interesting opening rush for sure. Let's check it out from the POV of Formal.
Table is set indeed for quite a game number 2 between these two sides here on Saturday. Kansas City sniper rifle still up. You can see Formal's thinking about it, but he knows they need a few more kills before they grab it.
Here's the flank though from Formal. One grenade does go down. Shaady though, a Lqgend are going to combine to take him down. Optic Gaming lose 2 off the break here. Acend with a slender 1 kill lead. Well, not too much to speak about. My goodness, now there is.
You might get a little bit of a lead, but guess what? You cannot let Lucid get away with the sniper rifle, and now the camo. That's a big blunder from Acend. If you get the opening kills, how do you lose sniper and camo?
Lucid just going to be waiting like a snake in the grass here to pounce any kind of shot that presents itself. You would expect him to be able to hit. Gets the information now of 2 players sculling away through the cuts. Gonna ping that to teammates. You can see the communication and the swarm from Optic through cuts now, as Lucid is just looking to lock down this side of the map. Snipedrone, do not peek again, my friend, because you get the feeling that Lucid isn't gonna have to be asked twice, but send away at this camo out. They've done a pretty good job.
This is what Optic Gaming preps for. This is what they practice. They're not afraid to slow the game down at certain times if they need to make the wise plays, to take their time through these. We're tied 5-5.
Acend. Tied up once more now. Sica's trying to pounce on that key door. Lqgend's going to be there to help, but now Lucid finds himself under pressure, and Acend are just going to be holding forward, but Lucid! Oh dear, Sica, we don't want to see that one again.
You can't let that happen if you're on Acend, but that is what a player like Lucid will do against you time and time again. We're all tied up at 7. Let's get into an Astro listen-in with Optic Gaming.
Push this. Yeah, behind me, sneaky guys. One shot. Sandbag.
Absolute tires.
By me also?
All good.
It's on minus. Yeah, they're on it.
Alright. They have like a 2-bullet heat wave, it's okay.
Got camo going screens. Going on top right now.
Alone, big door.
Nice, someone with the screens.
Yeah, A plant on sandbag, see you.
Here?
Get him.
I don't see him. I don't see him. Look at green. Look at green. Look at green.
Hold on, camo guy's long. This one's there.
Hold on, yeah.
Oh, big trap, with camo. Under window, after loot.
I'm watching sandbags. I'm watching sandbags.
Don't touch that, Tommy. I'm leaving you.
Yo,
I'm helping you.
he's here.
What's up there? We can nice up, Jim. Camo's dead. Nice bridge on top.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
He's one shot.
Tires bleed.
I'm giving up. I'm giving up.
You wave on me? You wave on me?
Come back.
You wave one's in window. No more E-wave. Let's go key door.
Let's play through like river or something.
One's in A, one's screens, two A side.
The tires, I can go up on this guy.
What above his nest bridge?
You wanna jump?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm hiding green, guys. You guys push.
I'm going up, Bubba.
Fuck.
I think he's off tower.
Probably.
He's on top tower. One sandbags?
Two key door, guys. Two key door, one's in
And
A.
they fight. You guys can go for side.
Yeah. Over, Tommy. Watching. Could be
Watch out Shady. Watch out Shady. Nice.
Watch big door.
Watching top mid. I have sniper tower, guys.
Watch out big door. Watch out big door, one's in A.
Okay, here.
Alright, I'm saving tower.
I'm watching cuts here with E-wave, okay?
I'm looking big door.
I'm just watching cuts with E-wave, guys.
Nothing out green, or I don't see anything in plat. Yeah, we have all the weapons. Let's wait for a pick. Hold on. I'm watching bottom middle. We could probably work bottom middle mat or something.
Yeah. 100%.
Yo, I'm going back
One's
green.
key door. One's key door. One's key door.
I don't know why, Sica.
Come here. Don't die.
Yo, back green on me, I think.
I'm gonna look at Brad real quick.
Go ahead, I can walk over some
These guys aren't moving. I'm gonna go top middle with you.
No,
Yeah, come here,
I'm good.
Big door. They're just sitting in A. They're not
Watch out,
moving.
Sica. You guys in A.
Two here.
You're ready,
Watch out, Legend in A. Just 2 weak in there. Pit and one small door. Nice. Pit. One was pit.
One shot, Sica then.
Nice.
One shot somewhere.
Nice.
Nice, man.
Three.
Oh, let's go. In A, small one.
Going bottom mid.
Keto right now.
He's running away. We're still running away.
I'm watching over to it.
Just pillars, stand up.
Middle weak.
Bottom mid two of them, guys. Watch out elbow.
Well, as we rejoin the game here, Lucid's going to pick up a kill and a camo, but it's only a slender lead here for Optic Gaming of 1. Now, can he put this to use? Why do we ever question him?
Why would we ever question this man? One of the best to play the game, without a doubt. 21-20 now. Optic still with a 1 kill lead. Lucid was last player alive, as you saw there, and some interesting things during that listen. And you heard just how hard Optic's having to work here. And so, no! Killing spree from Lucid as they extend their lead to 3.
Sniper rifle's been the difference in the last few moments. It's one thing to have the weapon, it's one thing for Lucid to have it. Narrowly misses the shot on Sica there, but he's going to get the information, and now TriPPPeY and Lucid flood through to try and catch his players off guard, but no! Legend's been sneaky in the corner, and once again, Optic have to work so hard as Legend gets 2!
Oh my God, you saw Lucid's reaction as well. Not happy about that, to be honest. If you're Optic Gaming, regardless of melee shenanigans, you cannot let that happen. Legend turns 2 in a situation where he was being collapsed on, and just like that, it's still a 1 kill game.
How something so small can change a game so much. Lucid gets that kill, he's flanking, he probably picks up a couple more. It's completely changed the situation of the game, and now it's 27-27. Acend are giving as good as they get here.
So rare that you would see Optic make that error. They were sending 2 through Rat Tunnel and a pretty routine push. In the end, Legend wins that 1v2. Players just collapsing once again on bottom middle. Make it a 2 kill game in favor of Optic.
2-4 for Acend. TriPPPeY now. Let's see a bit of his POV. A man who has demanded excellence of himself.
Hold this.
So far since Halo Infinite has dropped, just wants to keep getting better. Improve. The work ethic is there. The talent is there. The only thing missing at the moment for TriPPPeY, maybe that chip.
That's right, another trade. Lucid, last player alive. Once again, take a look at the TriPPPeY stats there on your screen for a second, and also all eyes on Camo. This is down to the wire. We're at the home stretch of this Slayer, and it's still just a 2 kill game.
If you look at where the players are south right now, it's Acend who are on the camo side of the map, so they should be able to secure this power up. And with that, there's an opportunity for them to maybe turn this game around. It's a slender lead. It's a tight lead. It's now not a lead for Optic Gaming as Acend tied up once more at 36.
Not giving up there. You thought maybe at the 20 kill mark as Optic Gaming started to pull away around 25-21. We might see something different, but now it's time to see what Legend can do with the sniper and camo. Game in his hands.
Game in his hands. Lucid in the sky. Body shot, headshot. Can he clean up APG as well? This would be a huge opening here for Acend. But APG not only survives, but gets away for now. Legend has to chase him down.
Acend take the lead for the first time in a long time. They're up by 1.
Oh my word.
Wow, finally there. Legend cannot turn 1v2, so we are tied at 40.
Now this is where The nerves start to jangle on both sides of this stage. Don't get me wrong, it's not just Acend. It's Optic who'll be feeling this pressure, and with Snipedrone with a spike grenade, giving them another slender lead of just one. TriPPPeY is just running for his life at this point.
Somehow stays alive, takes a nade when he was already flashing.
Lucid's got snipe.
You're right, Lucid is the POV, the player to watch now. They will go up, excuse me, they'll go down by one. They'll tie the game off of that kill from Lucid.
Oh, he gets two as well. Ties the game up for a second and then gives Optic a lead. Triple kill for Lucid at the most vital moment of this game. It's a 2-kill lead for Optic. Lucid commanding the nest area.
The Let's Go Optic chant in the arena begins, as they only need 4 more kills to close this out, but they only lead by 2.
Lucid, the calmest man on the stage. Lqgend trades out the kills, but trade's not good enough here for Acend. They need to go back to back. They get one. Shaady has the heat wave, and there's already pressure on Lucid. All of a sudden, Snipedrone is trying to chase him down. Can they get the kill though? Lucid. Elusive for now. Snipedrone though, he gets the kill, and Acend somehow going to a lead. It's 48-all now.
Oh my God, unbelievable flank there from Snipedrone on the nest. And Lucid put all his bets on that no-scope shot.
Fumble! Gets the kill, it's 49-49. Next kill wins. Optic trapped bottom middle. Acend commanding the tower side of the map. What's the play call? Silence here in the arena. Silence almost in the game as well. No shots being fired. The clock ticks down as we approach the 3-minute mark. We talked about who has the ice, who can be a game changer. Formal's always the man to watch.
Right now, Formal and APG are making sure no one's back green, no one's nest. Once they find that out, Lqgend might be in trouble.
Lqgend might be in trouble. He scarpers away, but there's Snipedrone. Oh, and it's gonna be Shaady! Shaady gets the kill! Viva la France! It's 1-1!
Off screen, during the back tower push, Shaady sneaks out a kill. We didn't see it. We got to go to the replays there to see exactly how that last kill goes on the board, because Optic Gaming is pushing 2 players back tower in a 2v1, and Shaady squeaks out a kill somewhere else at tower. And that is a huge, huge kill to now tie up our series 1-1 here. Are the last few minutes of that game. My God, what a game number 2.
I mean, there was so many moments in that game where I thought Optic run away with this now. They get a kill lead, they get a 2-kill lead. All of a sudden, they get a sniper rifle, but then Acend keep the game close. They keep getting their trades. And then in the final moments, it must have been a millisecond, the difference between the 2 kills that did go down. You almost thought Formal had it guaranteed in front of him.
You saw Lqgend die on screen. I'm so glad we get to watch this again. Just like you said, this whole game slowed down. This arena was silent. And you could tell, look at Formal working here. You could just tell by the angles he's about to take. He's gonna go bottom middle, he's gonna go pillars. And his main concern, and their main concern right here, is someone back green, is someone in nest? Take a look at Formal's POV. They're gonna send APG green right now. He goes to check that out. Formal's checking nest box, B box, as well as nest. Now, once that's clear, they know they can push on these back pillars, and they do it perfectly.
And then you see Lqgend poke. Lqgend's like, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out here, I'm gonna go down. Lqgend falls half a second. Half a second, not even that. After TriPPPeY does, and what it means is that it is 1-1 in the series.
And you have to wonder, we don't have the POV there on the main screen, exactly where TriPPPeY was pushing to get caught out. Might have been nest, could have been court, could have been top mid. Wow, you've got to be kidding me. There were milliseconds separating those 2 kills, and I don't know if I've ever seen a 50-49 end closer in terms of proximity of death times. Wow.
Ridiculous game number 2, and I get the feeling the map 3 is going to be pretty competitive as well. Reason why, if you don't watch European Halo, this is where Acend do their best business. Recharge, they have called their home. Optic, obviously, pretty damn good at this map as well, but trust me, everybody, we got a series on our hand here.
The big question, can Acend continue that momentum? And what does Optic Gaming have to do to ensure that they take this game number 3 and do not go down in the series?
It's a much better start here for Optic. It's going to be 4 dead for Acend. Formal working with APG to clean up a couple of kills. just around those batteries. He's going to have the grapple to say, come here, boy, to that ball, and it's going to be early time here for Optic.
That is a perfect look at the brain of Formal, right? Get up top first, get up top attic, clear out glass, get all the map positions, then worry about the objective in the most stylish way possible with the grapple. Now they're rotating back elevator.
Formal also has that shock rifle now. We've seen him do some pretty nutty things with this thing online. And we've seen him do some pretty nutty things with this at events as well. Snipedrone keeps the pressure on. Shaady doesn't fear anyone though, and that's one thing you've got to give credit to Shaady for. But this is Formal we're talking about.
Almost does it again there at the back elevator. Stays alive in a situation that most players would not be able to. 2 dead for both sides, but it will be an early 18-point lead for Optic Gaming.
Snipedrone. It's going to be a trade, but it probably shouldn't have been a trade in that situation. TriPPPeY managed to get that throwing arm going as APG now tries to pressure as Acend Scarper away with that oddball.
One thing we barely got to highlight was just how many kills Lqgend had in that game number 2. At one point, he was the only player positive. We'll see if he can step up in the kills department yet again.
Acend have a setup over at blue here. Sica just being a little bit of a sneaky nuisance. Waiting for a bit of damage to come in before he thought about pushing that. Getting information that Optic is setting up a push. You can see where everyone is respawning here. Formal going to create the opening though. Shock rifle in his hands again. Picked off 1 headshot. Now it's a 4v3.
Acend in the lead by quite a bit. This is a 30-point run. That ball should be played.
Play ball does come in, but a great run from Acend once more. Especially after going 4 dead at the start of the game, just showing a little bit of resilience once more. The only thing you cannot afford to do is allow Formal to get away with a camo and shock. The man can do damage if he's got a battle rifle, let alone if you let him combine the 2.
I was going to say the same thing. The only thing you cannot allow is exactly what's happening on your screen, but they do send in 2 players to take down Formal, and they get away with the shock rifle as well.
One thing that Acend do not know, though, is fear. They do not fear anyone. They will fly. You're seeing that already in this game. They have continued to play style that has brought them so much success online over in Europe. They are taking it to Optic. However, APG has taken the ball away now, back towards those respawners of blue.
Great rotate, just nades top yellow. Knows he doesn't want to fly in. Take a look at how dangerous that sideline is. He knows he can't afford to fly across it because they're going to try to bait that. My God. Absolutely dominates Snipedrone there in that 1v1.
TriPPPeY should be able to pick up some more ball time off the back of that as well. Sica going to be pressurizing APG with the plasma pistol. But look at this little present that he's found in the back pocket. A little bit of loose change. No, it's a shock rifle. That's Optic going to a 15-point lead.
Good damage there
That's
as well.
right.
Great push here from Acend. They pick up another one. Double kill for Lqgend on screen. 3 dead for Optic. Once again, this is your player to watch. Absolutely popped off in that game number 2.
Lqgend now PR Informal as well. Sica also picking up a kill onto APG. 2 dead here for Optic, which is going to allow Lqgend maybe to think about putting some pressure on that ball. TriPPPeY being a nuisance, a little bit of help coming in from Lucid as well with a commando. Shaady with a sword, trying to escape, trying to run. A little bit of help coming in from a teammate. And Lucid can't finish the kill. The teamwork again from Acend. It's on display for everyone to see.
Yeah, ping's coming down from Lucid on danger, hoping someone might have had an angle there from Whirlpool. In the end, they don't. And through all these scuffles, back and forth, really now for map control. Optic does get an 18-point lead, but we are still early days in this round number 1 of Oddball. Still really the entire round to play.
Certainly is. But it is a lead, and at this point in the game, it's somewhat considerable, considering how tight the 2 teams have been. Every single hold we've seen so far has been around 15 seconds, 10 seconds. There hasn't been an established setup for either team, so you have to say that Optic not only have a setup maybe on Acend, but also they've managed to pick up the second camo in a row.
Formal with camo, lots of screen watching there. You can tell he's letting the team know. Let me make a play with this camo. No dumb deaths here in this scenario, but he gets spotted out, eagle-eyed.
Sica's going to be the player, and now Formal is trying to bait all these players in, and he's doing a great job of it as well. TriPPPeY and APG, a huge shout out to those 2 players for keeping Formal in the position he is, and now Formal, with 3 players dying on Acend, can just move that ball back to APG and collect a little bit more time.
Oh my God, the fact that Formal stays alive there is unbelievable. Gets spotted out, but then works 1 by 1. Each kill breaks it down, then somehow even rotates the ball himself. They will continue scoring. Now they have double the points of Acend.
Formal now recognizing a couple of teammates, feeling a bit of pressure. And with that lead, you can afford to just be a little bit safer. Shaady versus Formal. Formal comes out on top.
It's a 4-shot machine, to be completely honest, and there's a few H4Fs in the chat, without a doubt. TriPPPeY will now rotate once again away from A.
This is going to be a rotate towards C as well. You can see the respawn being called out by Lucid. It's such an important thing to do on Oddball, is where that respawn comes in. If you've got the opportunity to make the rotate towards that, you're going to be able to make some plays, but Lucid gets lost in the sauce and has to go for a drink.
Kind of the same thing for us here in Kansas City. We've gotten lost in a little bit of barbecue sauce all weekend long. Seems like for days now, and to be honest, it's been absolutely delicious. 62-37 in favor of Optic. There will be 2 dead for them, so they'll have a chance to reset. Acend with more points on the board, and this game is far from over.
Really strong setup here for Acend as well. Got 2 players in tower, player watching long haul, and of course that Oddball player holding onto that skull and racking up some points. This game is getting closer and closer. The flood is going to start to come in though, because Lucid has managed to pick off Sica, and Formal has managed to pick off another headshot.
I don't even know if they got the play ball. They did not get the play ball because that push was so good down low. And TriPPPeY gets the ball. That's a big mistake by Acend. That's perfect setup, and they know that the push is coming through tunnel, and they do not get the play ball.
Another camo here for Formal as well, but Sica sniffs him out. He just got clipped by a grenade there, which gave away his position. APG's here. Shady's here with a sword though, slicing and dicing his way through Optic. Ball gets played. TriPPPeY, he's going to win the battle to take him down, but Snipedrone's there for the trade.
It's a great play by TriPPPeY. Great plays out of Acend as well, and Shaady flies in to really break that setup, but TriPPPeY makes sure to play the ball and win a battle in the back of C. Kills being traded top A. Less than a minute left on the clock, 76-57.
76-57, and there is that pivotal moment, which is probably in the back of the minds of Acend. That play ball could have been the difference between this round 1 being a win or a loss for them. But for now, they're going to have to pick up kills and go for another setup. 2 players dead on Optic. Acend still have 3 alive on the map, although that's going to be traded out. 2v2.
Big 2v2 here. These next round of slaves may determine the game. 20 seconds left.
Optic have control of the pipe side though. What does that mean? They have a visual on that Oddball spawn, so they can afford to let Acend have to move towards it. Formal also on the flank with 10 seconds left. Now it's getting to the point where Acend have to force things. Lucid's going to shut it down with 2 kills, and with the time just disappearing in front of your eyes, that's going to be an Optic Gaming round on the board.
Optic Gaming with fantastic game management there in the last 60 seconds. Like you said, pipes control as well as whirlpool control. There was no way a touch was coming in on the ball. They played perfect map management, and now 1 round away from leading in the series 2-1.
Such small margins though between these teams at the moment. Now Snipedrone is going to open things up again for Acend. Now, one thing that Acend certainly need to improve on from that first round is control of that camo, because it was every time it felt like it was in the hands of Optic.
That's it, the camo, the shock, and the play balls. The 3 things we're watching for Acend here. Formal is gonna, oh my God, almost did it to him, almost hits the shots, pops the camo, and comes back for the finish. In the end, will not get the finish. That will be killed out. We got to highlight APG right now. 15 kills so far across these rounds, 6 assists and 12 deaths. Fantastic numbers from him. He also leads the tournament in overall KD with 1.64 right now. This is your KD leader in Kansas City.
I mean, who would have picked APG, with all due respect, to be that player at the top? It just shows how well this man is playing. And like you're saying, it feels like the addition of Form was kind of unleashed APG a little bit to do what he does best. But speaking of unleashing things, it's going to be Snipedrone with a power weapon and taking a few hits.
I think it's a great point. Snipedrone, one of the forces of this team and one of the forces of Europe. So far, he's been shut down quite a bit in this series. We haven't seen him go full Snipedrone.
TriPPPeY has the ball in his hands. It's a slender lead here for Optic, but with APG managing to take down Shaady, they should be able to scrap up just a few more seconds of time here. Snipedrone trying to play this one slow, trying to bait out APG, get a few shots down, and wait for that flood to come in now from Turbine.
Play ball's ready if they need it, but they still have 4 players up here, so it still should be a battle here, and let the kills dictate the pace. Now the ball will be played.
3 dead here for Optic. Lucid, though, he spawns across map, and he recognizes this situation so well. Knows that the teammates are going to probably be spawning pipes, probably be spawning elevators, so just throws that ball back to where he expects those respawns to come in. That's a big brain play coming in from Lucid.
It is. He just grabs the ball. A little quick bait of the ball as well. When you grab that as the last player alive, everyone coming out of C and coming out of control is going to be thinking, where is this player? We got to take him down. Instead, he rotates long haul all the way to C, all the way to control, and he continues to do damage across the map. It's so hard to predict. That's 3 dead for Acend.
Speaking of control, it seems like Optic have found their pace now. It seems like they're starting to pick off Acend a little bit more, one by one. and being able to just find their pace on this game. Snipedrone going to be taken down on the cross. Damage already done onto Sica in tower means Lucid is going to be trying to hunt him down. He's got that commando rifle in hand, so any kind of close range battle, he's going to be able to shred a few shields. 32-17, Optic starting to command this game.
Just a moment ago, every single player on Optic across the 2 rounds had 7 assists. You want to talk about a team that's playing on the same page? A stat line like that tells you that. And Lucid has been alive for what feels like 5 minutes at control.
He's the last player alive though here for Optic. Seems like Acend managed to pick up some decent slays, but you got to take down Lucid if you want to continue to have success in this game. Finally, Lqgend will shut it down, but there's the trade almost immediately. Once again, APG now going to be pushing into Shaady. Dumps him back into the death screen.
Let's not forget, we started Lucid's POV there when he was the last player alive with ball and rotated long haul. He didn't die that entire time. And sneaks out all that damage, all those kills. As a result, Optic Gaming is now up 43-17.
They can pick up a couple of kills around blue here. There might be a little bit more opportunity as well to collect some more ball time. 2 players do fall again for Acend. That's going to be 3 dead momentarily. Optic have that ball back at blue, so it's probably going to be a minimum of 10 seconds or so if they can take down that last player just flanking through the repulsor tunnel, and maybe even more as more kills fall in the favor of Optic. This is a strong hold here at blue.
Great work from APG as well. Look how fast he is to drop and shoot, right? He's calling out the players that are there on the top 8 catwalk, immediately dropping the ball just in case someone shows. Like you said, they're really starting to catch form here, looking very different. And also, I'll remind you, APG still leads this game with 22 kills while he's in the back of the base holding the ball.
Another camo goes into the hands of Formal. We said that they cannot afford to do this, Acend, if they want to have success. For now, they shut it down. Snipedrone with the sick. As Lqgend now gets away with that ball. Snipedrone finds himself a shock rifle, and Acend need to hold here if they want any chance of coming back in this.
They do. Watch out, Pipes push already coming in here. 2 players have already made it to Pipes, and look at this, Lucid right away, first kill. That's what Optic does. They will tear you apart. They will get the opening damage. They will get the opening pick, and now they're 2 dead.
Lqgend trusting Snipedrone here to get the kills he needs to, but he's not going to be able to. And it looks like, unfortunately for Acend, a player has fallen out of the game, so we'll get this one started as quickly as we possibly can. As always, apologies for the DC. Sometimes these things happen, and we will get back into the game. We'll get the ball into you as soon as we possibly can.
Yeah, it looked like 74-38-ish at the time that we left the game. Of course, that might have been a few extra points on the board, but I think it's a perfect time to highlight what we just saw at the end of that game. Look how fast Optic Gaming gets into Pipes. Look how fast they get into top yellow. They waste no time. They get the first 2 kills, and they're already in long haul. Acend has no room to breathe here. Even the fastest team in Europe, the best team in Europe, Optic Gaming's bringing the pressure.
Yeah, you have to say that one thing that's always stood out to me, and I kind of highlighted it before we got that second round underway, was the power of control, right? Yeah. Camo. I know Wes was kind of harping on about it in the series that we saw on the main stage before, featuring Pioneers, but camo. It's okay to maybe not get the majority of them, but when you're letting pretty much every single camo go away from you, it just means you've got to focus something else, right? It's not just the fact that player can get away and be a nuisance, it's the fact that you need to focus resources onto one player more than if he didn't have that on his back.
And when you look at Optic's game management, they're going to make sure their camo player also has shock, also has repulsor. You can't let a player like Formal, I'm going to go through the whole list, Lucid, APG, or Trippy, get camo in these games.
As well, yeah.
Any of them, they're absolutely going to tear you apart. Very difficult round for them, only allowed to forfeit 68 points here as we jump back into Oddball Recharge.
Well, here we go then. Optic have 1 round on the board, and they will need 68 points in this restart to take home game number 3. For Acend, they'll need the 400 to tie things up.
No kills yet off the break. Lqgend first to Jai, but also traded out with Lucid. Will be Optic Gaming winning that rush overall. And Formal grabs the camel, but it's taken down. That's a good deny from Acend.
Yeah, great job from Acend there. Just making sure that even if you don't get the camo, you stop it being effective on the map. 3v3 for now. Sica gonna get a little bit of help from Lqgend there as APG came flying through the skies. And at the moment, it's a little bit of a scrap going on down bottom middle around where that camo was. Nobody able to get any kind of control. Finally, Trippy's going to get that ball in his hands.
Formal off screen with a little remote detonation there, just blowing up some nades to a lowly passerby. He'll pick up another kill through that one. Optic Gaming already scoring. Now making only 58 points that they will need to close out this game. And I tell you one thing, Acend cannot go 4 dead, and they need to make sure they hit their play balls if they have any prayer of winning this game.
Loving this positioning here coming in from APG as well. You can see he's put shots onto 3 different members of Acend as they tried to make the rotation to where they thought that ball was. The only problem was APG did the damage. Teammates killed all of the damage. And then APG comes up to scoop this ball. This has been a wonderful rotation of that oddball from Optic.
It's beautiful. I mean, the man's just dancing around the pillars and doorways there. Somehow grabs both plasmas as well. Finally dies, but he starts to rotate towards pipes.
Shaady picks up a kill, and it's going to be TriPPPeY pretty much left on his own here in the pipe side. Lucid also alive on the map, putting pressure onto Acend in Turbine, and it's going to be pretty frustrating situation there for Acend. You can see the ball is down, they're trying to make that push. TriPPPeY spots it out as well, and TriPPPeY has got a job to do, but Snipedrone will win that fight. Optic find themselves 2 down, and Lqgend find himself with the ball in the hand.
3 down now. I love the play from TriPPPeY overall there, trying to get the angle. In the end, it doesn't work. He kind of gets melee there as he goes bat ledge. It did not pay off, but it will be more points on the board and a lead now for Acend.
Just a reminder, if you're just joining us, it's Optic who have a round advantage. However, they only need to pick up 68 points in order to close not only the round out, but the game out as well. For Acend, they need to fall 100. And Acend this time rotating that ball towards blue again. Shaady gets taken down. Camo now in the hands of Lucid, but there is the play ball that was missing before.
Yeah, play ball comes in. They've got 1/2 of the operation, right? They hit the play ball, but as you said, they need to be controlling those camos as well. They denied the first one, but the second one does go into the hands of Lucid with the repulsor as well, but that camo has now expired.
Had to use that camo as well, just to get the ball out of the hands of Acend. And now that the ball has been reset and the players have been reset in the lobby, Lucid finds himself without that camo, so Snipedrone's going to be able to steal that ball away as well. Lucid's still under pressure here. Says goodbye to Lqgend, but it's not going to be into the death screen. It's just for a little bit of a, we'll call it the scenic route down bottom mid.
Take a long way home. Oftentimes worth the trip, and this time, oh my god, TriPPPeY gets absolutely thrown to the ceiling there. 3 dead for Acend. Snipedrone is your last player alive. Acend, though, with quite a few points on the board. They're at 41.
They certainly do, but they don't have much wiggle room here.
No.
They cannot afford to let the ball into Optic's hands. They cannot afford Optic to get 1 or 2 solid setups, because that's going to be the difference. Lucid finds himself 5 in a row, a killing spree. One of the most gifted players we have in the game.
Every single one of these players on Optic, just an enormous threat on the map. They can all go off at any given moment. This time it's Lucid's turn. He's 8-4 and hits the repulsor 180 to avoid the nade. And this man is a mechanical powerhouse.
Somehow stays alive. And I think that's probably a phrase I've used more than any when I'm talking about Lucid. When I'm watching his POV, it almost feels like he's dead to rights so many times, but he's always got a little trick up his sleeve. He's a magician. As he now challenges in on Turbine as well. There's not going to be a stick that comes in from Lqgend. Lucid will clean that up, and even though these kills are going into the hands of Optic, the oddball isn't for now. TriPPPeY finally gets his hands on that ball.
They take their time. They're a slay-heavy team. They like to get the numbers before they go for the ball, and it paid off. They have 3 dead. They rotate the ball pipes, and now they're going to go ahead and rotate Whirlpool again.
Formal with this combo as well. He's going to be able to pick up a few heads if he gets the opportunity to. Unfortunately for him, the camo disappears at the worst time! But maybe it was just the worst time for Acend. Lqgend cleans it up, but what a shot that was from Formal.
Yeah, has to work so hard to take Formal out there. Once again, back-to-back camos for Optic Gaming. 3 dead for Acend. APG will grab the ball and see where the teammates are spawning. The elevator hold will continue.
Halfway there for Optic Gaming as well. Just a reminder, 68 points is what they need to take home this second round here on Recharge Oddball. Formal picks up another kill as well, just to make things a little bit more comfortable, but it's only going to be comfortable for a few seconds here, but APG has the way cleared again. Lucid with 2.
They take the lead in the game here, of course, not just officially on the scoreboard, but if you do the math, leading by quite a bit. They're only 18 points away from closing out the round and the game.
Last push really for Acend. They have to try and break this setup as Sica has fallen. Snipedrone's going to even things up. APG decides it's time to rotate that ball towards that tower again. As now it's just a few more points to go. No one from Acend looks like they're in the vicinity to stop this game. Going to Optic, there's the 68 points. And there's the lead in the series for the Green Wall.
Making it look way too easy, and in that abbreviated round alone, Lucid went 13-6. Just to give you an idea, on the other side, Sica only had 5 kills. No one had more than 9, and Lucid is going 13-6.
He's a special kind of cat, this guy, let me tell you.
And he looks so damn good doing it.
I know, it's almost unfair. It's like, usually when you see people that are talented, there's something off, right? There's something not quite
We're still trying to figure out what's off with Lucid. So far, we haven't
Posture,
found...
hair.
The posture's perfect. Hair's perfect. Gameplay is perfect. Optic Gaming have been perfect there in that game of Recharge Oddball. They will win the game, and they will also take the lead in the series with a score of 2-1.
They will indeed. Now it's just one more game to go for Optic, just to close things out and give themselves a much better night's sleep than maybe it looked after that game in number 2. But Acend, now they've got the opportunity to prove themselves again here. We go over to Streets. It's going to be Strongholds, which is going to be the next game type. And I've got to be honest with you, I think this might be where Optic close things out, Andy. Acend struggled a little bit historically on this game type. Sometimes they're a little bit hot and cold on it, but Optic just seems to have this one on lock.
They did. Let's take a look at some highlights there from that fantastic game number 3, and this is where Formal should have died. Part 66 gets taken down there in a situation where you think most players, as we said, would not be able to come out alive, but this will mostly be a montage of Optic Gaming players staying alive much longer than they should.
That's certainly true, and it's going to be most of them coming from the POV of the man you see on your screen right now, Lucid. Once again, it feels like when Optic are put into a little bit of a jam, when they're under a little bit of pressure, the man just finds a way to survive long enough to come back and tell another tale, pick up a few kills, and really just allow Optic back onto the map. This is where we find ourselves, though, as we head towards Strongholds Streets. 3-2 Bazaar went Optic's way, 50-49. Go back and watch that if you're just joining us. A 2-0, much more commanding result from Optic on Oddball Recharge.
And to be honest, based on the scoreline so far, Acend once again very, very thankful they found that kill fraction of a second before the kill came in on Lqgend in what looked like a pretty flawless Optic Gaming push. Doesn't get them the game 2 win though, so they'll have to push on a little bit further to try to close out the series in 4 games.
We'll have to see if Optic do close out the series, in 4 games now, or maybe Acend have got something else to say about this, Andy. And it wouldn't surprise me all of a sudden if Acend come out of the gates hot. And the scary thing for Optic here is they got to understand that Acend know how to play triple cap extremely well. They know how to play Strongholds extremely well. They are so aggressive, you will not have time to breathe.
Exactly. I think it's important, just in case people haven't had a chance to watch Acend dominate the European Pro Series, it's important to note that this team can play this game very fast. They're not only the best team in Europe, they are the fastest team in Europe, and in terms of speed and matching the pace of the top North American sides, Acend have proven worthy of the task.
Very interesting thing to just talk about before we get into this next game as well, is these 2 teams did scrim before the tournament got underway. It was online. Acend did take those first 3 games, and then I think it was you who told me, Lucid said, these guys play a little bit like KCP. They play extremely fast, sometimes a little bit too fast, and a little bit reckless. And from then, after going down 3-0 and saying that, Optic swept them away. So I just wonder if that preparation in that series, that scrim, was almost as important for Optic as it was Acend.
True, and here's the question. As you see Strongholds Streets coming up, if you're just joining us, 2-1 in favor of Optic Gaming. A fantastic series Saturday evening here in Kansas City. When you look at Strongholds Streets, one thing that Acend needs to be ready for is even when they have the trip caps, even when they have the control, you got Optic Gaming with Coach Lunchbox here. If this team can do one thing well, it's slow the game down for just a few extra seconds, get the opening damage, and pounce. And Acend needs to be ready to play just one step ahead of that. Do not get caught out, send a flanker, get underneath the skin of Optic Gaming. If they do that, they have a chance here, but it is going to be a tall order for them.
I mean, it's one thing that maybe isn't talked about enough on this Optic Gaming roster, right? You're always talking about the 4 people who've got their hands on the pads, but you arguably have one of the greatest communicators of all time in Lunchbox stood behind them as well, filling in the gaps, making sure that those screens sync up in the way that he sees it.
It's incredible. You have to listen to Lunchbox during the listen-ins, during the scrims. But one of the most important things to note, and one of the coolest things to note, to be honest, about Lunchbox's comms on this stage is that he actually says very little, because this Optic Gaming team is so talented in their communications. You'll hear him say little things like 3 dead, right? 3 dead, be careful. 3, all 4 dead. Where are they spawning? Very specific communication coming in from Lunchbox. It's not chaos. It's not a hodgepodge of comms. He knows exactly where to fill in the gaps.
It's almost as if it's just, as you say, just joining those pieces up. He recognizes if something's missing, and he's there just to punctuate what needs to be said at the right time. Well, for Optic fans, what needs to be said right now is they win the series, but they've got to get through one more game if they want to say that. They've got to go through Acend here on Streets. Those rockets are going to be vital, as always, for clearing out one of those 3 lanes.
This is going to be a fantastic game. As you said, Acend is going to be bringing the heat. They know this is their last chance on the main stage this evening, and they are ready to go. We're jumping right into game number 4, a must-win for Acend and a chance for Optic Gaming to close out the series.
Well, I'm sure the Optic fans will hate me for saying this, but Europe will love me for saying it. But I fancy a little bit of game 5 here, Andy, as it's going to be Snipedrone and Shaady combining off the rip here to put the pressure onto Optic already. Shady's got all the way across the map. He's already in C. And this could be a trip ski coming in almost immediately for Acend.
That's 4 dead. The Optic Gaming playbook there. They tried to throw rockets down to B stairs, but they already flood B stairs, the side of Acend. And they will now have a trip cap scoring already 20 points on the board.
Now, this is dangerous for Optic. Like I mentioned, Acend so good when they have control in Strongholds. So good at prioritizing kills, and now they have the sandbox to work with as well. Shaady in the feed with that Stalker rifle.
They deny the first kill. So rare that you see Optic the first fall in a flat 4v4 in the even battle there. If they can do it again, they will continue scoring. It's already 50-0 in favor of Acend.
I mean, Acend have come out of the gates hot here. Formal, he's heating up a little bit himself. As the Sentinel Beam will just char away at that armor. A couple dead either side here. It looks like the push from Optic is on B. This is a vital 1v1. It's going to be a stick coming in, and I think that sums up how this game has started, and arguably how the series has gone. Both players just trading.
2 dead now for Acend, and finally you're going to see Optic Gaming with an opportunity for control. They do get 3 dead now, and they will start to collapse, but not before forfeiting 67 points.
Now, Acend, great on the front foot. How do you deal now you're on the back foot? That's a question that many teams do not have an answer to. We see the teams doing well when they have control, when they have the numbers, but it's the difference between the best is how they play when they're on the back foot.
That's the thing. Rocket launcher coming up now very shortly here, about 10 seconds. We'll see that weapon pop. And Optic Gaming, they know how long a Strongholds game is. They are prepared to play the full length, and they don't care if they go down by 100 points. They're going to start putting the pieces together. Pressure, though, coming on B from Acend.
Rocket's also going to be popping as well. They are now live on the map. The fuse is lit, and it's going to be Snipedrone who actually gets away with them. 2 dead here for Acend, but an opportunity to level up those numbers now if Snipedrone can use these efficiently.
Has to trade out there in the Rocket pocket. Maybe not exactly what he wanted to do with that. Finds Formal with the second. Nice use of the Rockets to make sure he grabs 2.
Reads Formal like a book in that situation. APG now going to be taking a little bit of damage, and C gets flipped now by Acend. So they'll be scoring just momentarily as Lucid jumps back into A. You would expect maybe Acend to make the push onto B off the back of this damage that does come in from Snipedrone, but it looks like Optic will hold for now.
These next kills are huge. 2 dead for Acend, 1 dead for Optic Gaming. Mid-map control coming in. The tires push for Optic. It looks good.
Look at this flood coming in from Optic. Acend just getting charred here over a B. And with that push that's coming in, AB still in the control, Optic still scoring. And within about 10 points now of this being a tie game.
Do you remember Ascend's 67-point lead? I do.
Feels a long time ago.
It's gone. Just like that, it's a 13-point game. Optic Gaming BC in control, and we could see a lead change very soon.
Lucid once again continuing to dominate. 7 and 2 for him, 3 assists as well, and TriPPPeY is right on his heels. Snipedrone in the 1v1. Oh my word, TriPPPeY with the thrust and the beatdown. That's going to be 3 dead here for Acend.
That's beautiful mechanical work from TriPPPeY. The only way he was going to close that gap and win that battle was using that thrust. It's a lead change, 70-60 in favor of Optic Gaming, 73 unanswered points.
And it just seems at the moment that Acend can't deal with being on the back foot. You're seeing multiple kills being picked up, and they're all in Optic's favor. A is going to be flipped here by Acend. Sica's just going to be caught off guard here. Just flying up towards B. It's a little bit careless, that push coming in from Sica, but the reset somehow comes in over at C. Acend make a last-second desperate pixel-perfect play to get the reset.
That's right, making things a little bit more interesting here on that reset now. It'll just essentially be a tied game once again. Rockets do go in the hands of TriPPPeY.
Only one to use, though, as it was Acend who had them initially. C gets now flipped by Optic Gaming, so they will be back scoring, and they will be able to extend this lead for now.
Wants to use this rocket very wisely, very carefully. Not in a rush to get rid of it. Wants to make sure it's part of the next push. Oh, wait a minute. That rocket will go straight through the arcade. We didn't know you could go through the arcade, but it does now. And another remote detonation. The feed will mean 3 dead for Acend, make it 4 dead. He doesn't even need the rocket.
BC now in the control of Optic Gaming. It's a slender lead, but it is rising. Snipedrone playing very, very sneaky at the back of A. Trying to see if he can pick up a kill, but the only problem with playing sneaky is you're going to let TriPPPeY move forward. He's on a frenzy! What? The man is going wild!
That's the first killing frenzy you and I have seen on the main stage this weekend for sure. And what a time to do it. 3 dead for Acend again. And just when you thought Acend was rallying back, the Optic Gaming chance starts in the room.
Off the back of the TriPPPeY frenzy, the Optic fans start to make a little bit of noise here in KC. Triple Cap still in a effect for Optic and what was a slender lead now, Andy. They're almost in a position to double up on Acend. Optic starting to run away with things.
Look at the numbers here. Take a look at the kills in the top left. Nobody on Acend has 10 kills. You've got Lucid with 12, TriPPPeY with 13, Formal with 12 as well. Huge assist coming out of APG. Optic Gaming is rocking, and they are rolling. A double kill trade for Formal as well.
3 dead again for Acend. Optic just rotating these spawns so well, and you can see a lot of resources were thrown by Acend towards trying to get that A stronghold back into their possession. Now the fight for C is going to progress. It looks like Optic are around C, though. It's important battle coming down, and Lqgend actually wins it against Lucid. Formal, though, is going to win that one, and that's vital, as it means he'll be able to turn B back over.
It's a rocket pop in your feed. Going to go down bottom rockets. See what Sica can do here, but this is the danger zone. What was once, again, a 67-point lead is now over a 100-point deficit.
Formal going to be taken down here by Sica. A couple of shots coming in from the top of A, and it looks like Acend, they don't want to lose this series quite yet. They want to put up a little bit more of a fight. The thrust back is going to keep Sica alive. They're looking for a triple cap of their own here. I tell you what, Acend aren't done.
Not done. Formal jumping, trying to get an angle onto A from C-Balk. Going to have to retreat all the way to the back of the base as well. The AB hold will continue, trying to keep Formal out of C if they can. It's a nice team shot, but Formal just won't die.
I mean, look at this confidence, though, from Acend. 2 of them just stand mid-map. They challenge C. But that time that was bought by Formal and the damage that was done means the PD spawns now coming for Optic. APG there to clean up the pieces. Acend, after a solid run, find themselves 3 down again.
Yeah, once again, all up the Snipedrone to B. He has to try to stay alive here if they want to control this, and he does well.
Snipedrone.
Very nice work from Acend.
Pops back out, buys the time that is needed for not only him to stay alive, but for teammates to arrive, and he gets a kill. It's a spree here for Snipedrone. However, Formal managed to pick up a double himself. Shaady just scarpers away, but Recharge gets a beat down. But Formal survives for now.
Lots of work from Optic Gaming to get B. They had to send in all units, all cars, but they will eventually cap B. They will continue scoring, and they will now cross the 200-point mark.
Full map control here as well for Optic Gaming. It seems that they've spied out the spawns. It seems that they've got the split spawns coming as well. 2 players pushing A, 2 players over at C here for Acend. This is not where you want to be if you're on the Acend lineup right now, especially when Formal is winning his ones like he is.
How do I place bets on Formal 1v1s? I want to find that.
I don't think those odds exist.
Yeah.
I don't think the bookies will make a lot of money off of that, so you're not going to get the opportunity to put some money on it, but AC now have been flipped by Acend. Both ends of the map's controlled, and it looks like Optic kind of stuck at B here.
AC hold continues. Rockets will be used. Both of them exhausted. APG will trade out. However, 3 dead for Optic, as there's 2 alive for Acend. It's a 2v1.
Here's Sica. He's got a bulldog. TriPPPeY continues. So not miss many bullets in this game. Snipedrone trying to nade him out of age, using those spike grenades to force him away. Gonna take a little bit of damage. Somehow TriPPPeY surviving here has allowed Lucid to move up to give him a bit of protection, and with that, it looks like he's gonna be able to take over A. Acend working on B though. Keep your eyes on the feed. If the kills fall in the favor of Acend, they should be able to flip it. And they do. They're back into this one, Andy.
Not over just yet. It looked like this was going to be an Optic sweep here in this game. Sica now with a great challenge on Neon's. Not easy to do against the Bulldog player. But with the Stalker Rifle of Sica, they can make the push. They continue scoring, and now less than 40 points away.
Lucid trying to survive, trying to chase down Lqgend. Sica says, come here. I want a piece of Lucid myself. Now he's pushing on to TriPPPeY and C. 2 free nades are going to take him down, though.
You have to think if he misses that curb slide, he gets caught on the ground. If he hits that curb slide correctly, he doesn't get hit by that grenade. That could be a faster deny on C.
Well, Optic had all the 2s for just a second there. 222 is now 223. Now, there was moments in that recharge game where Acend had chances. They let it slip. The ice of Optic was too much. Are we about to see it again, as in the final moments of this game, when it matters the most, Optic Gaming look like they're going to find themselves with a triple cap.
That should do it here, especially in the 236 mark. Now it's going to be the home stretch.
Need to make something happen here. Need to race to B, but no. The reset comes in over A. Formal's going to be here to try and defend C, but the problem for Acend is that Optic are swarming them. And with that, Optic Gaming will win the series 3-1.
I think that game sums up the series, right? Acend looked great at times. They put up great performances at times, but overall, Optic Gaming far too consistent, far too comfortable on our main stage. they will close out the series with a score of 3-1.
What a performance it was from both sides of the stage, though. I have to say, Optic Gaming looked very, very good. But Acend, they also looked damn dangerous. And I tell you what, their run will continue in that lower bracket a little bit later on. But I mean, what a performance it was from Acend, but Optic showing ice when it matters. Those last-minute decisions, those last moments of game, they all went to Optic.
Absolutely, one of the tournament favorites here. We'll continue on, but you bring up a great point. If Acend is able to do what they just did against Optic Gaming, what does Acend have up their sleeves for the rest of the tournament? I think everyone knows what Optic's packing. A lot of people are wondering, Acend, what can they do here? It's not crazy to think that Acend, based off of that performance alone, against one of the tournament favorites, could put up a pretty impressive performance this weekend.
Yeah, it's certainly an exciting time to be a European Halo fan, and certainly more exciting if you're French as well, apart from Snipedrone as well, of course. You know, now I'm kind of claiming it as my own. Snipedrone's English, so it kind of works. You've got to understand it, it's all good. But I mean, Optic, let's talk about them, because we need to talk about them.
Yes.
We've seen these two teams both match up against Acend now, and when I say two teams, I'm talking about two tournament favorites coming into things now. Cloud9, maybe a little bit of a different situation. A little bit earlier in the day, game of the event for Acend.